All right, should be up and running here. We got about 2 minutes until the close. All right, so we'll definitely see where the Qs SPY and IWM end up. All right, but let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for May 26th, 2022. SPY up 2%. Qs up 2.8. Was up 3. Starting to peel back a little bit here. And then IWM 2.19. Now, as you recall, yesterday we came into today with a bullish bias. First time we've had a bullish bias in what? I don't know. This month? So it's been a while. It's been a long time since we've had a bullish bias. And the reason for that was the run up here that we got. And so we got a higher low and a higher high. So that gave us the reason to be bullish, right? Which is why we switched yesterday. And the SPY, as we even talked about on Tuesday, SPY showing relative strength, higher low here. All right, and then getting the nice move up. And then before the end of the day, made the higher high. So we had a higher high, higher low. We also outlined yesterday, if we take out this support area, then back to all out bearish. But if we don't, then we'll stay short-term bullish. Okay, and then we saw quite the bullish move, quite the follow through on that bullish bias today as this hourly, right, ends the downtrend. Okay, so then where does that put us for tomorrow, heading into the long weekend and so on? Well, we are in a run-up into resistance, okay? So the reason that I said yesterday short-term bullish bias is because daily still in a downtrend, weekly still in a downtrend, and monthly still has that broken up trend, okay? So we are moving against the longer-term trends, right? And of course, when we change trends, the smaller time frames are going to be the first to do so. And they're going to be our first indicator, which is why we watch the hourly to help us predict the next hours and days. We use the daily to predict the next days and weeks, right? So that we can kind of see the undercurrent of price flow, right? So we've run up into resistance. So we're at a very tough spot now, right? So for me, going into tomorrow, neutral bias. Okay, we've got to run up into resistance. So I am expecting more of a narrow range tomorrow. So it could be a very choppy narrow range. It could be a very kind of boring sideways range. I'm not sure. I just know that we've had a really big green bar today, the biggest one we've had in 3 weeks. Okay, and it was a like 3% move on the Q. So it looks like it's going to finish around 2.77. Right? We may get a small pullback. We may even try to run up, make a new high, and then pull back, right? Basically, kind of low expectations for tomorrow as far as the range of the bar, okay? Because we have, a strong move up that's now kind of run into this resistance, right? And the way that we did this grind here, okay, it means that I don't think it's going to either just crash back down or break through resistance and just charge up tomorrow. That's my expectation. Either of those other scenarios that I'm not expecting could happen, of course, but neutral for me. If we kind of run up initially at the open, I'll be focused on the shorts. If we drop hard at the open, I'll be looking for, the opportunity to play long. So basically, I'm expecting kind of, not a trend day, not like what we got today. Okay? All right. And one other thing too, just you see the way that we started this move, right? While I was on the mic, someone was asking me, can they, what did I think about? I think shorting the Qs, and how far it can go, and I, said I'm not sure. It's just not my play. I think we're looking at it, right in here, because the biggest bars are at the bottom, okay. Biggest bars are at the bottom, smaller bars at the top. You're shorting into a grind. So it's very easy, or you think the top is in, shows you a little bit, takes it away. You think the top is in, right? It shows you a little bit of follow through, maybe just enough to trigger yin, and then it goes back up. And then same thing again here, and then goes back up, right? Eventually this will go back up, right? But this is also the very end of the day. So when we get this grind here, it's very hard to pick the top, okay? And especially when the bigger bars are at the bottom. All right, so we do have this kind of igniting move, and so that's what makes, I think, whether or not this resistance will win out or the momentum will win out that much harder, because it does look like a pretty good start, igniting move to start that uptrend. Okay. All right, let's go over the plays from today. I didn't think there was that much today. I thought there was a lot more the last 2 days. Okay. But today, the PL here, getting follow through from yesterday. Traded this a few times in the morning. The first couple times I kind of messed it up. But that's because I wasn't that familiar with it. So I kind of had to figure out like how this trades. So initially, you know, kind of moved up, and then it would often look like it was going to flip, but it wouldn't flip. Okay, so then I had to get back in, and then it was, yeah, and then again move up, looked like it was going to flip or come in a little bit, and then get back in. So I kind of had to learn how this thing, a lot of times it would look like it's going to flip and then not even flip. So I kind of had to kind of figure out how this thing plays. So that was the PL, and then finally it trailed. And then in the afternoon, I think some of you might have played it with me here as it was breaking out again over 6. Okay, over 6. And then eventually, I think under that bar is where it trails. Yeah, it tries to break out and then trails. So, you know, just this wasn't really that big on the PL. It was okay. It was mainly not that big just because I kind of had to learn it first, and the way that it acted. Okay, and then it ended up being okay. And then right into the lunch period, actually, this AVYA. So this AVYA was pretty good. Again, level 2 type play. Was setting up really tight base, really strong bid and weak offer. I think it was over 45. And it actually made this entire move all the way up to 55 from here without taking out the bid. So that's really nice. You're only risking a penny. Even less if you get it right before it breaks, because you're basically getting in at the bid and you kill it before the bid breaks. You're almost risking nothing. And then the max on that is like 8 cents, right? 46 to 55, 54. Because even if you cover it, or even if you sell it at when it's at 55 there, you're going to get filled probably at the bid when you sell. Okay. And then it was actually good to play again. It had one more move in it. So that was good too. So those two combined, that was the best for me today. Although after it made that move, I did try to short it. And it just would not follow through to the downside. I'll show you where I tried. I waited until it transitioned lower here, and then I tried that, and then I think that one, yep, flipped right back up. So I played that, shorted it, flipped right back up, and then I tried it again there on the re-break, and then flipped back up. So I started to give this one back, so I started to take it easy on this because I knew I was like, and then of course, as soon as I give up, bam, falls really nicely. So anyway, that was the AVYA. That was pretty decent. The one that gave me the hardest time today is the ZH. ZH, I had a real hard time with this morning. Every time I thought it got a good shakeout, so I think this was the first time. First play was right here. Looked like it was going to break out, so I got some. Bid was strong, and then it just like flipped right. And then I was like, okay, that's a shakeout. And I got back in, I think right there. Broke out and then immediately like flipped right back down and didn't want to go. Yeah, and then flipped right back down. So this one was hard. I could not get this one to go. And then I finally I took it off my level 2. Decided I'm not going to watch it anymore. And I was kind of telling the room, I was like, yeah, watch out for this DH. You know, this is my worst symbol so far today. And as I'm discussing it, it actually starts to look good. So that was the first. I didn't play it though because I already decided I'm done with this one today. That was the first play. Then it set up again, really tight base, and then good level 2, and then popped again. So yeah, if you were in the room, you might remember because it moved up first. I said, I was like, first I said, you know, this thing better not print 61 or I'm going to be mad. Not that it cares that I'm mad, but then it set up again, and then bam, off to, another 5-6 cents right away. So yeah, it looked good. It just kept shaking me out and gave me a hard time in the morning, but eventually, yeah, it worked. And closing up here at the highs, ending up 22%. So yeah, that was the ZH. Okay. All right. So yeah, those were the plays from today, and the market buys for tomorrow. Tomorrow I probably won't be that aggressive. We'll see what the market wants to do. And then I'll let you know kind of what plays we come across. All right. Hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Have a good evening.